What's up, my dudes? Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys have the most excellent day today. So, by now, you've all probably seen on Twitter and various other places this video of Tyra Banks at a basketball game or something like that, with these two furries either side of her getting all snuggly and having a good bit of fun. And we've all been confused as hell about what the hell's going on. I mean, there's been people saying that these are like AliExpress knockoff suits, which has later been disproven as the makers come forward to say, hey, I made them suits. And there's people being like, it's clearly set up. And yeah, I agree, clearly set up. Well, it turns out the source, the person who arranged all this, has been, vaguely revealed. Now, admittedly, the information on this is some weak source shit. I got about 50% confidence that it's accurate. There's a lot of speculation in my opinion. But it turns out that this was actually organised by a production company that's done a couple of shady things recently, called HiHi. And I think that's a bit of a weird name for a production company, but whatever. Apparently they've also organised recently a comedy show that was evacuated halfway through as a publicity stunt. And apparently some sort of thing with some shoes where the lights went out and when they came back on, the shoes were stolen, some bullshit like that. And if the news articles I've seen are anything to go by, apparently the Tyra Banks of Furries thing is also one of their publicity stunts. And even I've got to admit that this link that they've come up with is kind of weak source, but a lot of news agencies are going with it. So maybe there's some substance to it behind the scenes that I don't know about. But their link is that they were all retweeted by a dude named Donald Glover, who you may know is a rather famous actor. I think he's like the son of Danny Glover. I may be mistaken on that though, don't quote me on that, he may be completely unrelated. In fact, I'm going to Google that later. And apparently he's like one of the bigwigs or something at this HiHi. I'm not certain on that. And the people doing the investigation for these news agencies, they've kind of been connecting the dots and figuring everything out. And they've come to the conclusion that this, Tyra Banks Furries thing, the comedy show and the shoes, they're somehow all related. They're all, stunts done by this HiHi. Apparently HiHi were putting out, missions that people could do, and if they did these missions they would get some sort of prize in relation to Amazon. I don't know, it's kind of vague exactly what they got, and none of the news articles I've read have really nailed down what they get out of this. But apparently they've been putting these missions out and people have been doing them to get these rewards, and it looks like these three events may be somehow related to that. And there is a further link to this Donald Glover guy in that the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith film coming out soon, apparently part of that involves them being put on these missions by a company called HiHi. So there's all these things kind of connecting the dots, and people have concluded that the furries that were with Tyra Banks, they were put there by Donald Glover. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, was it the actual fursuit owners in the suits, or was it someone else? Because as people have pointed out, one of the suits was kind of ill-fitting on the person wearing it. You could see their naked arm underneath, as if that suit wasn't made for someone with that lengthy arm. And it kind of annoys me that these furries are kind of being exploited by this production company, because it's clear that seeing them there with Tyra Banks, who was previously really railed on the fandom. I believe she did like an episode on one of her shows way back in the day that cast the fandom in a really gnarly light. The fact that they're now using her and these two furries, to get clout for their production company, because that's what it is. This incident got people talking because, oh my god, furries on mainstream TV at a basketball game. Oh my god, it got people talking. And now it turns out this is all just Donald Glover and his production company getting clout, using furries to get clout. That's not groovy, my dudes. So I will put links down below so you guys can read the articles that, have made this kind of tenuous link. And when I say tenuous, I mean this is like, there's a chance this is accurate, but it may just be a case that Donald Glover saw this incident and thought, retweet. I don't know. But considering what these production companies will do and the fact that they will quite happily exploit anyone to get a little bit of clout, I wouldn't put it past them doing this, man. I have no doubt that this is something that they would actually do. They don't care about these furries. They just see them as an asset to exploit and then just toss away when they're done. Especially with people talking about furries a lot recently in with the Oklahoma bill and everything. Furries are a bit of a trending topic for them, and they just thought, I got an idea, let's get some furries on and we'll get some clout that way. And I guess in a way, making this video is kind of feeding into that clout, which is kind of bad of me, but at the same time, I figured you guys should know that this is just, a marketing ploy, possibly by a production company run by Donald Glover. So yeah, do with this information what you will. I will drop links, like I said. If you enjoyed this video, found it informative or whatever, consider supporting me on Patreon, help me make even more most excellent videos, or swing by my Discord, hang out with some dudes, share some memes, whatever. But anyway, I hope you guys have a most excellent day, an amazing week, and party on, dudes!